A new report about the state of the world's oceans is due out today. Already last year, that same study found that, well, the health of our waters that are so vital to us are of concern, to say the least, with record-breaking waves that cause flooding, increased coastal erosion and change the course of ocean streams. Streams that carry billions of kilograms of water and heat per second across the globe. They're key to our climate and they could actually be about to collapse. A scenario scientists warn would totally disrupt our weather pattern. We could, some say, be skating on the Seine within the next 20 to 30 years. Apart from that, of course, we all already know about that continent of plastic that is bobbing around us. Well, to give us more insight on the state of the world's oceans, we're joined now by Italian environmental entrepreneur and activist, Mr. Gianni Valenti. Thank you so much for joining us. Can I start by asking you, in your opinion, I mean, it sounds very dramatic when you read these reports. How bad is it actually?
Well, it's very bad in the sense that we have to have an urgent action on it because it's a point of escalation. The beautiful thing about nature is that when it is addressed in the correct way, it actually resolves itself. So that's the importance of the resilience of nature. But if we do not take action rapidly, then obviously the degradation reaches a level that it will take much longer if it ever comes back. So yes, it is very important to know the situation, but take action immediately.
So what's the most worrying element? I mean, it's lovely to hear that it's not too late and that we can react and turn things around, but what's the most worrying thing in our oceans at the minute?
Well, the most worrying thing is pollution, I would say. That's a generalized word because pollution, it can be from plastic pollution, petroleum-based pollution, fertilizers, but also it can be noise pollution. That's also very important. And most of the time it's overseen, but it's very important because it actually destroys the balance and the delicate intricacy of sounds within the ocean, especially for the large marine animals and all kind of sort of communication and mating and everything else, all kind of action. So it's very, very important. But the pollution in general, so man-made interaction, man-made alteration to the environment has reached a level that we really have to do something about it.
I've even read that there are dead zones already in the ocean where life has ultimately stopped.
Yes, technically there are dead zones. Obviously, dead zones is just a temporary thing because there is the change, there is the evolution, the adaptability of marine areas that what's a dead zone now will be the thriving zone of in a few decades. But the problem is, if we have many of these dead zones around, the problem is the biodiversity that we're having will face a decline, and therefore inducing like a chain reaction in all kind of in the biosphere of the marine area. So this has consequences not only on the ocean, on land as well. And on humans.
And of course, humans, one of the big things, the most visual things, I guess, we can see in the ocean is that continent of plastic that has been recorded. That's something you have looked at and looked at a way that we can actually use that plastic pollution to our own benefit.
Yes, correct. There are actually 5 continents like this floating in the sea. And it is absolutely possible to use this plastic waste. It's also organic waste, and convert it into some kind of resource. We have modelized and actually developed a system that can actually convert this into energy, and it works absolutely fine. And this could be deployed for the garbage floating in the ocean, for the areas around coastal areas that are polluted. I'm thinking about Philippines, but not only. And obviously for the waste in port cities and in normal municipal cities as well. So it's something that the problem is waste. We can turn waste into resource and into a pollution-free resource. That's the important part.
Okay, so there may be a solution there. Of course, the ultimate solution is less consumption. But is there support for putting those kind of solutions into play? I mean, are governments stepping forward and helping to finance or get them up and running?
Well, no, I can't say that there are, no.
Okay.
There are different solutions, but there's always little tweaks and little twists that you have to follow, and it looks like most of the time you have to fit right into the The key has to fit into the whole. And with a solution that which covers many possibilities and is adaptable, you don't usually have the perfect fit. So not having a perfect fit, it means it's difficult to be supported by government or public.
Well, yeah, because they're all expensive projects, and ultimately it all comes down to money. But Gianni Valenti, I have retained that there is still time to turn things around if we start to act. Thanks so much for your time and joining us here on France 24. Much appreciated.